Good morning and welcome to Greece. My name's Andrew and I live here, and I do live here because this is our little 70s apartment here in Athens, Greece that we are currently renovating. And 11 weeks in, we're finally getting to the end. We've done the plumbing, we've done the electrics, we've done the bathroom, we've done the kitchen, and this morning the plumbers are coming to do the final hookup. I'm really excited about that. 11 weeks without a toilet. It's going to be quite nice. But after that, I'm planning to paint this room. I'm going to paint the hallway. And I'm going to build a glass brick wall here. And I've also got some tiling to do. So there are still jobs to do. But after that, I feel the major construction is then finished. And I'm into snagging little jobs like silicon sealing and so on and so forth. But I hope this video is interesting. If you've been following me all the way through, 11 weeks in, I reckon we'll finish in about a week. Fingers crossed. Giannis the plumber is here. Fantastic plumbing. If you want any plumbing, his details are below in the description. Anywhere in Athens and Attica, I think. Big jobs. He's just done one in Kolonaki. But they're installing the shower, the toilet, everything today. So I'm really excited about that because it's a big step. It's going to make the bathroom look finished. I probably will finish the bathroom today. I'm going to go and get some accessories from Leroy Merlin. And then I'm going to have a couple of days off. At least I keep saying that. So the guys have been working very hard and we have a toilet. First time in 11 weeks. Can't tell you how excited I am to see a toilet. Apparently it's all going okay. No major problems, which I was worried about because in the end it's my plumbing. I'm responsible for it. But it looks pretty good so far, I have to say. So having turned the water off 11 weeks ago and started to smash up the bathroom, we now have basically a completed bathroom. There are a couple of accessories that need to go in, which I will go and buy in a few minutes. But you can see we have a toilet, we have a sink, and we have a shower, and they all work. Now, I'm sure you've never seen a tap before, but there we go. And I'm really pleased with it because the water, it's plenty of pressure, doesn't splash out. And the shower's great as well, actually. I'm going to have to put a door here. I am going to have to put a door here. I need to go and find one. But it's not bad. That'll be quite refreshing. And it doesn't pour out here. The drain is fine, which is great. So I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. Nice rainfall shower. And of course the toilet works. I won't show you what a toilet looks like inside. You know what a toilet looks like inside. But I am really, really happy with this. I mean, it might be a little bit clinical at the moment, but once we've got our stuff in here as well and we've put a couple of accessories in here, I think it's great. I'm very, very happy with it. And then, of course, not quite as nice, but we have a washing machine water point and drain. And also, we now obviously have water in the kitchen, which is great as well. And again, I'm quite pleased with this. So obviously, you've seen how a tap works before. I'm quite pleased with the spray as well. It's pretty powerful. Obviously can control it if we wish. So I'm very, very, very happy with it. And I'm now going to go to Leroy Merlin to buy a couple of accessories to finish the bathroom, I hope. Depends what I find. I might have to go on a hunt. We'll see, because I'm not going to ruin it now just for the sake of it. But yeah, I am well pleased with that, to be honest. Big transformation from where it was before. I think a huge difference personally. But let's go and get the accessories and finish it off. Trip to Leroy Merlin, and I've got some towel rails and a couple of soft accessories, and we've got a mirror, gone for a round mirror. It's quite hard in here now, obviously it's just black and white. We need some colour. I think what we'll probably do is put a print up on that wall. We'll obviously have some towels, there'll be some fixtures and fittings in here that we haven't yet got. But actually, I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's not bad at all. And I've been thinking and researching, I'm going to have a shower door here, wall-to-wall shower door, which will open around to here. There is space for it to do that. Now, the sharp-eyed of you may notice that I had to repair the wall here. I originally put the towel rail here, then went and did my research on shower doors and realised that it was going to impact the shower door. So I've taken that and, as you saw, moved it over here. But I think it goes quite nicely over here anyway. But there we go. Lesson for me. Do my research before I rush ahead and do a little job like that. But I'm really, really pleased with it in here, I have to say. I don't think it's bad, really. And I'll give you a mirror wave. Yay, first mirror wave. We're going to keep it simple. There's a little hook here. My wife always likes to have a little towel hanging by the sink. But really pleased with it. Now, I've been thinking about what I'm going to do next, and I'm going to do the door frames next. That's my plan. I'm going to do the door frames probably on Thursday. Today is Tuesday. And I've also been thinking long and hard about these doors. These doors are difficult because they're non-standard size. They may not look it, but there are 3 different size doors here at the bottom and 3 different size doors here at the top. They're all non-standard sizes, so it's not a simple replacement job. And I think what I'm going to do is keep them and smarten them up a bit. So I'm going to paint them, I'm going to put some edging around them, I'm going to trim them to make them look just a little bit nicer. And hopefully, at least initially, that will suffice to improve things. I might even paint them a different colour, but probably for the moment white until we get in here and we see how we feel about it. But it will be a lot of money and effort to replace these doors because every one of them is a different size. There are different widths and different heights. And it's just not worth my time. But what is worth my time is making them look a little bit smarter, which again I will do on Thursday, I think, when I do the door frames. Then I can paint in here. And I will paint in here, and I will paint the bedroom Thursday, Friday. And after that, I am then probably Saturday going to do the glass wall here, which I need to watch a couple of videos on because I haven't done a glass wall before. We've also this morning gone to IKEA and ordered a sofa. You know you're moving on when you're getting a sofa, so we're getting a sofa in here. And we've also ordered some internet to be fitted. And being Athens, we actually get decent internet here. So we've got 350 megabits per second download, 150 megabits per second upload, and it's costing us €28 a month. That's fibre to house. I think that's pretty good, particularly as in Astros, the maximum we can get is 50 megabits download, 600 kilobits upload, and it costs us €32 a month, and that's with the same company. So I think we've done pretty well actually with the internet here. It's the difference between Athens and the rest of the country. Athens is very advanced in comparison to the rest of the country. But anyway, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to come back on Thursday. I need to get a Leroy Merlin and buy some wood and stuff. And hopefully my idea for the doors and the door frames will work out and then I can paint. But I'm really pleased. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. Now, before I paint, I obviously need to prepare the surfaces, but that includes the door frames and actually these cupboards behind me. I have an idea for these cupboards, or my wife did. So I'm just going to show you very quickly what I'm doing. So I am making some pine door frames. I'll paint them once they're filled and sealed. Very easy to do, I have to say, just measure and cut, measure 3 times and cut. But you can buy door frames in Leroy Merlin, for example, but they're expensive. They're on particle board and they paper wrap them. And I wasn't happy with them at all, to be honest. I mean, just a waste of money. I think these would be much better, particularly once painted. Nice and sharp, fairly modern. Now, I'm not doing them all. Those where I've left door frames, I'm going to keep the door frames because I'm not a sucker for punishment, and I think it will blend in nicely once it's all painted. Now, this cupboard, I was going to smarten up these doors, and I will. Because I measured them all. Every door is a different size, so to replace these doors will be very difficult. But my wife then said, well, why don't we make these doors flush with the wall? Why don't we just make them part of the wall? So my plan later is to do exactly that, just to build the wall out slightly here and try and make them within reason as flush as I can, so that when you walk down here, you don't really notice them, you just see a white wall. That's the plan anyway. They will be there. There will be gaps, but I'm going to do the best job I can, given the materials available. Now, I also finished this morning the lights because Amazon delivered and I got my extensions. So we've got about 12.5 meters of hue lights in here, light strips. That equates to about 11,000 lumens of brightness for anyone interested as a maximum. And effectively, I can simulate daylight in here, which is what I wanted. There's no shadow. It just mirrors what is in the bedroom or anywhere else, although there are no windows in here. So I'm very, very happy with it. So I had hoped today to get the first coat of paint in the hallway and in the bedroom, but I haven't done that, as you can probably see. I've done a lot of carpentry today around the door frames in particular, and also sorting out the cupboards, which I'll show you in a sec. And then I had to do about 4 hours of filling. I didn't anticipate so much filling. I don't think my work was particularly bad. It was just, that was what was needed to make it ready for painting. So tomorrow morning I'm going to do the first coat of paint. Then while that dries, I might do the glass brick wall. I'll at least start that and see how I go. But first coat of paint tomorrow. Let's just quickly show you what I've done. So as you can see, I've been building the frame for the glass blocks. Some of you'll say, oh, that was there before, but I've actually done quite a lot to it, filling and adding extra bits and so on. I can't do the top because I don't know exactly where the blocks are going to finish. But then the major work is down the corridor, and hopefully you can see it. The cupboards on the left, my wife, brilliant idea, said let's just make the doors flush with the wall. So I've been doing that. Needs a little bit of finessing, but I think it looks brilliant. And then obviously I've also been building a couple of door frames. And as I said, tomorrow I am planning to paint at least the first coat and where it's needed to touch up areas as well. But I think all in all, a good day, to be honest. Took rather longer than I expected. But you've got to get this right, otherwise it looks terrible for the rest of the time that we have the apartment, or at least until we redecorate again. 3 hours painting this morning, and it doesn't look bad. This is the first coat. They're still cutting into two. Obviously, there's a second coat. I think the cupboards look great, actually. Brilliant idea of my wife, just to make them seamless with the wall as far as we can, given that they're 50 years old. I think it looks pretty good for a first coat. Quite happy with it. I will do a second coat tomorrow. I've learned that I like to let these things dry for at least 24 hours. It's sensible. But not bad at all. It really does transform the place, I think. Looks good. Now, I've got a couple of little jobs to do, and then I'm going to build the glass brick wall, I think. So, happening very quickly right now, but I am building a glass wall, and I just want to show you very quickly how that's done. Give you a couple of tips I'm learning, because it's the first time I've done it. So it's happening very quickly at the moment. I'm 5 courses high. I've got another 5 to go. There's about 10 kilos of cement in here, if anyone's interested in that, and it's 1 kilo of water to 5 kilos of cement, so actually 12 in total. Now the way you do it is you use these spacers here. These you buy when you buy the blocks, and they basically slot into the gaps and remain in there, and allow you to space evenly the blocks. And then you can see these tabs, I think, here sticking out. You break them off once it's all dry. Now it takes 24 hours to dry, then I break them off, then I grout it. I'm not going to touch it until basically it's dry, and I'm certain it's dry. But the other thing I'm doing is I'm making these ties here. I don't know if you can see them. It's basically, I'm making these, but I put one in at 3, I'm going to put another one in at 6, and then I'm going to put another one in at 8, I think. And they basically just tie the whole thing together, stabilize it, and particularly in a country where you get some earthquakes, this is probably quite a sensible thing to do, because I don't think I'm very good at doing this in reality. But I'm trying my best, and it will look great once it's grouted. And I think actually it will be quite strong. I know that sounds daft, but I think it will be. I've got this trim on one side, and I'm going to put another trim on the other side. So the whole thing's going to be encased. But my big tip is don't mix up more than 5 kilos at a time, because this stuff dries really quickly. I mixed up 10. I got 5 courses out of it, but 5 kilos at a time. Don't do any more than that. So not something I can say I really enjoyed, but I think it has come out rather well. It's now drying before I grout it tomorrow, so it will look better than this. It fits amazingly well, actually. Probably luck more than judgment. Maybe a little bit of judgment, but I forgot that I did all the measurements. As soon as I got them right. The top row is a nightmare to finish, but I will build another frame on this side tomorrow, just to enclose it like the other side. I think it neatens it up, but it does what we want, and we'll put a blind there which will just hang down, and we can close if we want, shut off the light and so on. It should offer some insulation, particularly sound from the front door. The front door's pretty soundproof anyway. And then with the door shut, and I have a plan for the door which you'll probably see this weekend, I think it'll be pretty damn good in this bedroom. So good morning, and the second coat of paint is done. Now there's still quite a lot of cutting in to do, as you can probably see, but I'm very happy with it. I'm not cutting in yet because there's still some trim work to do. There's still some areas which might need touching up. So I'm going to leave that until pretty well the end, a couple of days' time, I think, in terms of major building works. But I'm very, very pleased with it so far. I think it lightens and brightens and opens up this hallway considerably. And the bedroom is not looking bad either. Now I have to grout this wall. I've been dreading this, to be honest. This wall is hard work. The adhesive that we have to use dries incredibly quickly. 10-15 minutes, so I have to work very, very quickly. I need to be prepared, so I'm going to have a go at that now. And then I need to go out and buy some more trim. As I said, I've still got some trim work to do, just to finish up bits and pieces. And I have some tiles for the kitchen, so I'll either do that today or probably tomorrow, Sunday tomorrow, so I'll have to do it in the morning. But getting there. For those curious, this thing on the right is a new sofa from IKEA. We got £125 off because we used our points from buying the kitchen. But the main thing today, apart from the painting, is this wall, which I have to say I haven't enjoyed doing, but now I've done it, I'm quite satisfied with it. I think it looks really good. I'm going to let it dry before I clean it again for a couple of hours. But this side, you know, banged into the frame that I built, made it nice and straight. And then the other side, absolutely flush. And I was going to put a frame around it, but I don't think I will, because I think it would be a shame given that it's so flush with the frame I made. But I'll see how I feel. I mean, there's no rush. I'm going to put a little bit of beading just at the top there. But I actually like the rest of it. And I like the idea that if there is a problem, I can see it. Whereas if I put a bead around the whole thing and there's a crack or something, I might not be able to see it. And we do get earthquakes. We had one the other day, 4.5 on the Richter scale, and everything shakes and rattles, and it's a bit unnerving. But there we go. So what is next? Well, I have to do the tiling. Now, I do have time to do it today, but it's quiet time in about 2 hours. Do I want to cut the tiles now? Oh, I'll probably see. Otherwise, I'll do it tomorrow morning. I also, as I said, need to cut in with the painting, but I'm going to do that once the place is a little bit cleaner. But yeah, we're almost there now, at least in terms of the major building. I've got to put a desk at the end there, and I've still got to do the Murphy bed, but I'm not in a rush to do either of those. They might happen in the next month or so. So I actually forgot I had to do the doors, but you can see behind me I've been working on them. Let me show you very quickly. So I still need to change the door furniture. I'm going to pop out and get some in a minute. But this is white marble acoustic soundboard, and I've doubled it up. So it's on this side and it's on this side. Now clearly there's some painting and filling to do, there always is, but I think it looks pretty good, better than the glass, and I think it matches in here. It certainly has a different appeal to it. I'm very, very pleased with it, to be honest. And the major thing is, of course, that I've done it on the bedroom door. And there's a reason for this, because although our front door is pretty soundproofed, this, along with the hollow glass blocks, should offer additional soundproofing for the bedroom. And again, I've doubled it up on both sides. So I think it's a good solution to what was a 70s problem. I was not going to put glass back in here, and I'm really pleased with it, to be honest. Let me show you back here. I think it looks sympathetic with the glass blocks. Now they need cleaning. I'm going to clean them later. In fact, I'm going to clean this whole room later, because I am planning to move the bed in here and possibly sleep in here tonight, because I've had 12 weeks basically on a camp bed, and I don't want to sleep on a camp bed anymore. But I'm going to go and get a kettle, I'm going to go and get a mattress protector, and I'm going to go and get some door furniture, and then tomorrow I'm going to do the tiles. So I'll come back to you later once I've cleaned this place. Good morning. Well, I moved in here last night and I had a really good night's sleep for the first time in ages here, to be honest. It's now about 9 in the morning. I never sleep till 9 in the morning. But what is on today? Well, first of all, let's have a quick look at this glass wall. I cleaned it up last night. I think it looks pretty good now. I'm very, very happy with it. What was a bit of a job turns out, I think, to be all right. But today, I think today is the last day of major building works. I say major building works because I'm still going to have to build a desk down the end here. I'm still going to have to do a Murphy bed and TV cabinet in the lounge, but I'm not going to do those immediately. But my plans today are twofold, really. Firstly, I am going to tile the backsplash, and perhaps you can see the tiles there just ready. I'm hoping that will take me about 3 hours. I should be relatively efficient at it now. And then the other thing I'm going to do is painting. I'm going to do all the cutting in if I can. There's a little bit of filling I have to do as well. And then finally I'm going to clean, and I'm going to put this sofa together. So that's my plan today. I want to finish today if I can. There will be a little bit of snagging. There's always going to be a little bit of snagging. For example, I need to silicone around the window frames. I need to put some trim around the bottom of them. But I haven't got the trim today, so I'll have to do that at a later date. But let's see, hopefully today, last major building works. Yay! Tiling and electrics are done. It took slightly longer than I expected. It's now lunchtime, almost 2 o'clock, lunchtime in Greece, but it's okay. I'm pleased with the electrics as well. I think they look great there. And it's quite modern, surprisingly so. For a dark kitchen, I'm quite pleased with it. I've still got to do the plinth underneath at the bottom. You can probably spot the feet there. There seems to be a screwdriver under there as well, which isn't mine. I've just spotted it. So I haven't acquired a screwdriver, but anyway, there we go. Very pleased with it. And this afternoon, I really do need to do the cutting in and the painting. But I'm ticking these jobs off now. It's really good. I've also been distracted a bit because I've done a bit of filling while I was waiting for stuff to dry. But anyway, there we go. So I worked late last night, and the fact is 12 weeks ago today we started with demolition of this apartment. And I think today, as far as I'm concerned, 12 weeks later, it's a Monday, we have finished at least the major construction and building works. There are still things to do. Obviously we're lacking furniture. We do have a sofa. We're lacking furniture. There are always going to be snagging jobs, but I just want to very quickly show you where we are now, what the apartment looks like, and then we'll go from there. So yesterday I tiled the backsplash in the kitchen. I'm very pleased with it. I also put in the electrical points. I also had to hook up the hot water because Giannis had forgotten to do that, but it's not a big job. And I think actually I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks good. I think for a small apartment where we kept these 70s floors, it fits in well, and I'm really pleased with it. I don't think we could have done much more in this space, to be honest. The living room, again, I mean, we've got a nice sofa in here. It doesn't look too large in the space. So actually, I think once we get a rug, a TV, I built the TV unit at the end wall there, some coffee tables, etc., lamps, it will look fantastic. But as a living space, I don't think it's bad, really. You know, we cut this hole in the wall, we've put in new electrics and plumbing, we've plastered the place. It's looking pretty good. Then out here, you can see I've put some leather door handles on these doors. That's so if you brush past them, you don't catch yourself on them. The bathroom, well, I mean, I've just had a shower in here. It's coming on. I mean, we've got a shower screen on order, hence I've got a curtain for the moment, but it looks all right. Ignore my wife's old dressing gown, I've been using it. But I think the bathroom's looking pretty good, to be honest. Soft furnishings make a hell of a difference. Okay, I've got a beach towel at the moment. I put some new door furniture on the door here. You can see I've had to hack it a bit this morning. I'll paint this later on. But the door hasn't shut properly for 50 years. It now shuts. I had to take about 5 mil off that door frame with my circular saw this morning. That was a bit of a mess. But I've tidied up since then. And I think it's not bad, really. There's still little jobs to do. I need to do some silicone. I've just noticed I haven't taken the masking tape off there. So there are some little jobs that I'll keep coming across. But I think it's all right. Not bad at all. And then obviously down in the hallway, well, my wife's idea to make these cupboard doors flush with the wall, I think was brilliant. I think they look much more modern. Very happy with that, to be honest. We're going to have like a console table or something on the right here. And then I'll probably do a desk at the end this weekend. I'm going to go down to Astros and relax for a few days now because I'm tired and I've done the work. But I think a desk at the end there. The glass walls come up brilliantly, I think, personally. Don't use that word very often, but I'm very happy with it, given the cursing that went on while I was making it. And then obviously we've also got the bedroom door here with some soundproofing. I think it looks in keeping again with the floor. So very happy with that. And then we have the bedroom, which I can attest is very quiet at night, is comfortable, is not particularly hot, thank God, because although I don't talk about the heat, it's now about 32, 33 degrees. And it's become very difficult to work in this heat. So really I had to finish, to be honest. I think my wife will enjoy making this place a home now. We're going to come back probably this weekend, I think, buy some plates, some crockery, glasses, etc., and just start to move in a little bit. We're not going to live here. It's going to be a pied-à-terre in Athens, but the whole point is that we just walk in, shut the door, and it's like a home. So TV, internet, etc. But I hope you've enjoyed following this project. I hope you like what I've done. More leather handles up there. I hope you like what I've done. Obviously, it's not the end. I'm going to do a video reviewing the work from the start to the finish and also talking very much about the costs, what in the end we've actually spent on this. So I hope you wait for that and enjoy that. And then inevitably there'll probably be another video where I build a unit at the end here, I put in the desk, and perhaps we show you the place furnished. But I do have other content on Greece as well. Lots for tourists traveling around Greece at the moment, and also for expats thinking of moving here. So if you enjoy my channel, please subscribe, have a look at what I'm doing, and I look forward to doing more for you soon. And thank you very much for sticking with me during this project. I'm really pleased with it. And I'm going to go to the beach now.